Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, party people in the house?
Yeah.
Wood Dog the Funk Meister about to bring it to you for 2019.
Let's go.
Fresno Vibes.
Let's go.
My girl, Miss G.
Miss G.
Representing the whole San Joaquin Valley.
San Joaquin.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
Let's go.
Y'all ain't ready. Come on.
Yeah. Fresno Vibes. Fresno Vibes. We get live. We keep it live. Fresno Cali. Yeah. Fresno Vibes. Let's go. We get live, baby. We keep it live. Yeah. Yeah. Miss motherfucking G. Yeah. Fresno Vibes. We get it live. We stay live, baby. Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
put your hands together for Fresno's loveliest, most dopest
That's
MC.
right.
Miss G. Miss G.
Here we are.
What's up? What's up?
We are here, man. This is the last show of October, and October is one of our family's favorite months.
That's right. Yep.
So we just want to say we won't be here for Halloween, but happy Halloween, everybody.
Everybody.
Oh my
It's
God.
that time of year.
And thank you, everybody, for coming out to my mom's big Halloween benefit party. We will get back to that in a few minutes. We will talk about that, show videos and stuff. But first, we want to talk about this beautiful Bloody Mary that brother the bartender made. What's up? A little bit of cheese in that
Just
one.
my favorite Bloody Mary I like to make every Halloween. You know, usually sometimes I make it Halloween night, you know.
Yes, that's true.
It's just some good old Sky vodka.
We
you
don't
know.
do that anymore. Remember when we would go to mom's house and
Yeah.
we would take the girls to mom's
Yeah.
house and get drunk and then walk them through the neighborhood?
Yeah. Kids are all grown up now.
I know, it's crazy.
All grown up. Yeah, they don't do that. It's interesting how time flies.
It's different now. They just come to my house with the baby, and then
They go home.
I think they go to mom's house. Maybe
Are they trick or treat a little bit?
he was too small
Too
last
small?
year.
So he'd probably be into it this year.
Maybe I'm gonna
Yeah, 'cause
call her
he's-
up and find out what the deal is because last year he wasn't walking yet.
Right.
So this will. I mean, it was his first Halloween. But he didn't go trick or treating because he's too
No,
little.
he's
He's just
too
a little
little.
mijo.
He'll probably do it this year though.
Might as well go get a few
Snickers.
things. Yeah,
Get some
heck
Snickers,
yeah.
Reese's Pieces.
Those are
all
my two
that.
favorites.
Yeah, me too.
That's the good stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
some Twix.
Right? Three Musketeers, all that good stuff. But yeah, we're having our traditional Bloody Mary we love to make.
Cheers. Let's
Cheers.
see. Yeah, that's the good stuff
Delicious.
right there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've made a Bloody Mary. It tastes very familiar.
Delicious.
Good for the winter.
You can make it pretty peppery. This one's just right.
Right. I didn't bring any pepper or spices this time because some people don't like it hot. But I do. So.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Good heartburn later on, but I'll
It's
suffer.
worth it.
Hell yeah. It's just like going to Chico's. You know what you're in for, but it's worth it.
Just get through it.
Just get through it.
Well, listen, guys, I am going to be hosting a comedy show this Saturday, and I will be, yes, I will be giving out some tickets sometime during the show. And I like to tell people I like to host. It's fun. And I told the promoter that I am not a comedian. I'm just going to go up there and talk about stuff that annoys me or funny stories because I'm not one that writes jokes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Well,
so
I think some people that just get up there and just ramble about random things about life are what are really funny.
yeah.
Yeah. I think people relate to that. They feed off of that.
You think?
I think so.
Well, okay, let me give you an example of what I want to talk about. I don't have a jackhole of the week, so I just want to tell a funny little story that happened to me today. Is that cool?
Let's hear it.
All right, so I get off at work, and I walk into my living room, and it smells straight like dog ass. Okay, so I'm like, okay, so my dog is laying down on the ground and my husband is laying down on the couch. And I just want to know, first of all, my dog has been in the family a very long time. He's 110 years old. He's very old, and he's still got spunk. I mean, he can't see that good. He can't move around that good. He's got old man ailments. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's sometimes has some seizures. He's got arthritis. He's just an old guy.
He's just old.
He's old. But I don't give a damn. I walk into my house. I don't want my house to smell like dog ass.
Does he get in that odor because he's really old and?
No, it's called Eric. Why don't you open up the windows since there's farts going on in here?
Oh, it's that. Okay.
Yeah, just regular old man dog farts.
Old man dog farts. Open the windows.
How come
turn
you're
that
just
fan
sitting
on.
there?
Breathing it out.
Breathing it in with the doors and the windows closed. Jesus, I just want to know why. And you want to know what he said?
What?
The game's on.
The game is on.
Get up. Meanwhile, I'm like, my eyebrows are burning off. I'm like, seriously, bro? You're just gonna sit here?
Crack that window open.
Can't do it. The game's on. What? What in the world are you? I go, fresh air. Ever heard of it?
That's funny. Yeah, it's free.
And then I'm like, get him out of here. He's like, well, he's an old guy. You know, he's old. But that doesn't mean my house has to stink.
Oh yeah, I remember when Piggy was old. Oh, I always had
They
those
got old people, old guts.
old guts. Yeah, even when it was cold, I always had to air it out. Turn
Just
that fan on.
old
Yeah.
everything.
Light up the
Intestines and
candle.
breath is worse than a puppy. You know what I mean? It's old
Yeah.
dog breath.
not
Old,
cute anymore.
Old man dog fart. You know what I mean?
Rotten.
Rotten. That's my little funny story today. That's the kind of stuff I do. I'm not a comedian. I just like to talk about stuff that annoys me.
That's annoying. Yeah.
Like, can't get up to open up a window. Okay, that's cool. Just breathing each other's farts in.
I could relate to that.
You know those days.
I remember going to my friend's house, and I'm just like, wow, you're just in here breathing it up like this? Could you crack a window open? I mean, it stunk like a dirty hamper with just undergarments in there.
Oh,
It was
dirty clothes?
Nasty. Ugh.
And that old dirty, that's not good.
And we were good enough friends that, I told her straight up.
Like, she
"Open these
didn't smell
fucking
it?"
windows." I guess not. She was just up in there on her computer,
Just
breathing it up.
smells good. You know what I mean? I do know that after a while you get desensitized because it's such as in our shop, it smells like nail stuff, hair stuff. People walk in and they're like, "Oh my God, it's really strong in here," and we're sitting there like, "What?
Yeah.
I don't smell anything."
Hey, but that's different. It's work chemicals. Just like
It is.
when you go to a paint shop, it smells like paint, and you're gonna smell paint.
Absolutely, but you get used to it after a while.
But nobody wants to smell a funk.
A funky funk.
Nobody wants to smell a funk. Yeah,
Open up the windows, people.
that's right.
I like fresh air.
Me too.
Even in the summertime, you got to keep those windows closed because you're running the air. I open them sometimes.
Bullshit. I learned that from Dad. Even
that's
in the
how it
winter
was in our
time,
family.
remember?
Fresh air all the time.
Even in the morning, open that door just for a little bit, get that air out.
That's right. That's how we do.
Yep.
Okay, Mike, so now you got to play a picture of my dog because I do love him so much. He's been in the family a long time, but you got to see this little old man. Look at him.
Oh, there's Weege.
There he is.
And Joaquin.
Mm-hmm. That is Joaquin and Weej, which is actually his nickname. His real name is BJ. All right, guys. So we are going to give away some tickets. What should we do? What should we ask? Does anybody have any ideas? I want to give away 2 tickets to the comedy show. It's this Saturday, as I said. Let's see.
When was Halloween first? When did they start Halloween first?
When did they start Halloween first?
Yeah.
That is a good one. Are you serious?
Google it.
Oh, Gina over here coming up with a question but don't know the
Don't really
answer.
know the
What kind
answer.
of shit is that? And then tells me to Google it. What kind of assistant are you, lady? We better come up with a better one.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. If anybody could type in what I was for Halloween, for my Halloween party, you'll get 2 free tickets to the comedy show that's coming up this Saturday. The first one that puts it in the comments. How about that? Is that good?
That's great.
Okay. All right. You guys can win, so don't wait because it's the easy one. All right, so now we're going to play a song by David Mendoza. His music is really good. He's not from Fresno, but he is independent. He is not signed with anybody big yet. This is his debut single. It is available on all major streaming services, and you could find him on Instagram under Doza Music. That's DOZAMUSIC. So if you like it, check it out. If you dig it, purchase it, because all of us small business people just trying to get ahead in life. And I'll be back with my first guest in 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Yeah!
My pride, yeah. You live in my headspace, even though I don't want you here. A feeling I can't change, a reason that I don't wanna hear. You can't run from a memory, you can't hide from a bad dream. You're in my headspace.
What's up, stranger?
Not much. I tried to get to the show last weekend.
All good.
I was at a wedding. Oh, here we go. Hey, we're back, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is Tony Martin from Fulton 55, and I always enjoy having you on my show, so thank you for coming back.
You're quite welcome.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
I was supposed to go to Fulton 55 last Saturday, but I was invited to a family wedding, and I did not anticipate having that much fun and staying that long.
Well, good for you.
I know.
That sounded maybe funner than where I was.
Yeah? I mean, gosh, I love weddings, and me and my family, we love to dance and drink. So, I mean, I left in my mind kind of early. I think it was like 10, 10:30, 11, but that's too late to hit a second spot. For me, it is anyway. But how did the show go? That was the show with
Gregor Ross.
How did it go?
Heath Sanders. It was fine. It was, we had a country show, a rare one, at Fulton 55.
Right, right.
It was for a very worthy cause, the 22 militia folks.
Oh, I didn't know it was for something.
Yeah.
Like it was a benefit?
It was.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
What is that? 20 Strings to Freedom put on the show. And they do country shows up and down the valley and raise money for different veteran charities. Wow. And, it was...
You guys should have came on my show and promoted that one.
I'm a busy
Especially,
man.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
I
mean, it took me a year just to come back.
True, because you're so busy. And I don't like to bother people, but, everybody knows how much I love Gregor Ross. I can't believe nobody told me to the last minute. Well, it doesn't matter because I had a family wedding to go to.
Well,
anyway.
If you love somebody that much, you shouldn't have to wait for somebody to tell
I'm
you.
bu-
You should
I
be
am.
following
I'm
your
busy
stuff.
too.
Okay,
I'm busy too.
Gotcha.
Shoot, man. But the thing is now we're going to talk about a new show. So I was noticing on the flyer that this is for AJ Fox. AJ Fox?
Oh, Saturday night, yeah.
Yes.
AJ's been an old friend of mine. We've known each other for a long, long time, since the 90s.
That goes back.
It does. And he had hit me up earlier this year saying, hey, I'm turning 50. I really would love to do my birthday party there.
Cool.
And the date was open. So we said, yeah. And Los Hooligans are performing, and Fat Penguin, both really good bands. So
Now he plays in a band, right?
he plays in both those bands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I know he was in a band about a penguin, and he plays a saxophone.
No.
No?
AJ's a guitar player and a singer.
How cool.
Yeah,
That sounds cool.
he's a cool cat for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Now, Los Hooligans, does he sing in that band as well?
I think he does. I think he does some background vocals. I'm not real sure
really
because
sure?
I haven't. It's weird because Hooligans has been around for a while, but I don't see him very often. I can't. I know Tony plays the horn and he does a lot of the singing now. Randy, their former lead singer, lives in Houston, Texas now. So I used to see him a lot more when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know.
When they were here, probably too, right?
Yeah, so, but I know AJ does sing. I know with Fat Penguin he does as well. And I've seen them both. They're both great bands.
Well, I was trying to find a music video for Los Hooligans, and I couldn't find one on YouTube. Yeah.
I would think that there is. And it might be something where it just shows a picture of the single and it plays the record.
What I found under Los Hooligans was an old Mexican band. I knew it wasn't them. But I found Patrick Contreras. Now, when is he playing?
He's playing Friday night, and he is doing it's Violin on Fire, and it's a tribute to rock. So he's doing, I think he's doing Queen. I think he's doing Santana, which he's already done with us, but I think he's expanded it for the Fresno show, selling like hotcakes.
Yeah?
Always. And
That's a guy that I need to see.
he's-
That is a performer that everybody, if you have time, you got to get those tickets. How much are the tickets?
Off the top of my head, I think they're 15 in advance, 20 at the door.
I found one of his videos, so we're going to play it so that you guys can get a little taste of what he does. I mean, he's not your typical violin player, right?
No, and he tailors his playing for different shows. Like at our place, it's a rock show. He's done solo music, and he's played every venue in town.
Right.
And so,
Sure
you know,
has.
he has to. We're not a sit down place like Tower Theater.
Right.
You know, so you have to get people up and
Oh.
dancing. And so he
Yeah.
does that really well at our place. And
I can't wait.
I mean, geez, he opened he was the first performer ever at Fulton 55, and that was almost 9 years ago.
Wow. I didn't realize
And I
that
met
he's
him
been-
like a month before we opened. It was the first time I'd ever met him.
Very cool.
And really cool guy. I call him a kid because he's so much younger than me, but you know, he's been around now. And he's talented, and everywhere he goes, wherever he plays, he's got a crowd, and he's doing a lot of fairs this year. He's doing a lot of corporate events. He does weddings. I handled his booking for a little bit, so I got to see how many shows he can do in one day.
Wow.
And I mean, that
Grinds
guy,
it out.
He's a go-getter, you know. God, I wish I had his energy. You know?
Well, that's the kind of
or
energy
be his
you
age,
have.
and I would have his energy.
Right, that's what I was
you
going
know.
to say. We have that kind of energy when you're, what is he, in his 30s?
Yeah,
See, that's young.
it is.
30-year-old is like a 20-year-old still.
You're talking
to
about
me.
your old dog smells and everything, and I'm sitting there thinking about myself.
And you had a dog that passed away.
I did.
Was he just old age, or was he
No,
ill?
Barkley got sick. He
That's the worst.
he got some sort of like a torn meniscus in his leg,
Yeah,
and
but how does that kill you?
well, he was on bed rest, and I think just the lack of
Laying
activity,
around.
and I think he just kind of lost his will.
Oh God.
Broke my heart.
I know. You always had videos of him up.
Every time I hear a siren, he's the only dog I've ever owned that would howl with a siren. So every time I hear a siren, I just
Aw, and it sucks when you don't get to have them as long as a little bit longer.
well.
When they get sick.
But then
and
you
they don't-
always there's always a little longer. You know, I think he had a wonderful life. I feel proud that I gave him a good life. He's been to Tahoe hiking and,
Nice.
I mean, everywhere on the West Coast. If I can take them hiking, I have. And I actually had a trail app on my phone just to find trails where your dog doesn't have to be on a leash.
Nice. That way he could be free.
Yeah, run.
Just roam.
He loved the snow.
Oh, wow.
Loved it.
See, my dog is, like I said, he's 110 years old. He barely gets around. He's very stiff. He can't hear that good. He can't see that good. But he still has, he still wants to get up and eat breakfast,
You describing me or the dog?
He still has a will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's not ready to go yet. And he's not, as far as I know that if I took him to the vet, I'd find out a whole bunch of things that are wrong with him.
Sure.
But I don't want to. Because he seems okay to me.
If he's not visibly hurting,
Yeah. Right. I'm not going to buy a bunch of pills just because he's an old man.
maybe some arthritis pills.
That would be nice. I thought about giving him, sometimes I give him a little baby aspirin just to deal with
Sure.
his little aches and pains.
Yeah.
Things like that. But anyway, so he got some great shows. Fulton 55 always has amazing shows coming up. But anybody big or anybody that you think I might dig?
There are some pretty decent announcements coming this week on Friday. So if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, look for those announcements.
Okay.
Some really cool reggae bands coming through. There's a show that we're working on. It's not quite confirmed.
Not
but,
quite confirmed. What
but
about Lydia Pence? You told me she comes every year.
She's coming back in a few weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah,
See,
and-
me and my mom want to see her.
Yeah, it'd be great.
We got to go.
Fantastic. And we got the local band, The Sinners, to open that show. So it's going to be an evening of powerhouse female vocalists.
Nice. Well, I have a question for you, Tony.
Okay.
How do you do it? Because I just want to know personally, like, how many days a week are you there at night running the show?
It varies. It varies. I mean,
'Cause
like November, we have 22 shows in 31 days,
Like, do you have to be there every time there's a show?
mostly.
Mostly. And then you go to school.
I do. That's why I'm so sore right now. I have a PE class and my neck is all tweaked and my legs are
no.
killing me. I need to soak in a tub.
Nah. There just should be a law against making people, do PE after a
Right.
certain age, okay? Isn't there something you could do online for this? some classes online for PE? Jeez.
There are.
There actually is?
It's an oxymoron, really. But a lot of school districts have taken PE out of their curriculum or reduced the amount of time in class because of all these standardized tests that schools have to perform well in. And
Yeah.
So, you're taken away from study time by running around chasing a ball.
I am
But
so glad I'm not in
actuality,
school anymore.
Studies will tell you doing physical education 45 minutes a day opens up your mind,
Absolutely.
and people actually learn
The blood
better.
flowing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
believe it. One thing else, too, I believe in real quick is have you heard that they're going to start having school start a little bit later? Because they say that from the elementary school to high school that the brain is still developing and they're not really ready at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's a catch-22 because, I mean, my kids are both out of high school now, but they had a bedtime all the way through their senior year in high school.
Right.
To get their 10 to 12 hours of
Get
sleep
those
a
10 to
night.
12.
And, so part of you can say, well, it's the parents who need to get their kids to bed. There's no right or wrong answer, but I know as a parent, we got our kids to bed.
And they get up. But what the
always a chore
scientists
waking
say,
up,
the
though.
scientists say that the brain is ready and more awake and more aware and ready to learn a little later in the morning.
I thought it was the hours of sleep you needed. I would imagine, I don't know. Some of it's psychological. Oh my
Some of
God,
it.
it's 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
But hey, by 7 o'clock, I'm already had a full day.
7 a.m. You already been to school and back.
Not school, but homework maybe. Booking shows, making sure.
I follow you on Facebook. I'm like, man, I don't know how he does it.
I'm beginning to wonder myself.
Are you almost done? I'm so sick of you being in school forever.
The majority of my school will be done in December. I'll have a few classes to pick up between December and May, and then I'll graduate from Fresno Pacific with my daughter.
You told me about that last year.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's still on track.
I am. I hope
All
my
right.
daughter is.
All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to play an amazing video by Patrick Contreras. He is going to be here this weekend.
Are you playing Tijuana?
Yes.
That's one of his original songs.
I know.
And it's a fantastic tune.
Yes.
But don't come to Fulton 55 expecting to see that on
No,
Friday.
because he's doing a rock and roll
It's
show.
gonna be rock.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, he's going to be doing some amazing stuff. This is it Friday or Saturday?
He's Friday. AJ
He's Friday.
Fox's birthday is Saturday.
But this is how you can get a taste because you can get a taste of what his violin work is like by listening to this video. But he is going to just do a rock show on Friday. Get the tickets. This guy is terrific. So this is Patrick Contreras, and this song is called Tijuana. Okay, now we're back. Now we're back.
Can we get Gina up on here? There we go. Hey.
What did everybody think about Patrick Contreras?
He was good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is amazing. So I hope everybody takes the time to go get those tickets and check him out. He puts on a terrific, terrific show. But now we're going to put our hands together because Karen, the psychic medium, has drove all the way from
Fremont.
Fremont just
far
to be
away.
on my little baby show.
Guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We
thank
love
for having me
you.
back. It's such great energy around
Super,
here.
super talented.
Oh,
So give
thank
me a
you.
hug.
Oh,
Aww.
Thank you. It's
One
always
for
good
you,
to
too.
see you.
Oh, thank you.
I caught her in front of the studio, walking up and down, trying to find the studio, even though she's been here before, and even though it clearly states 1212 Van Ness.
I know. And the people at home are saying, some psychic.
That was hilarious. I wanted to take a picture. I'm like, I'm going to sit here for a second. No, she's walking back the other way. I'm like, it says 1212 right here.
No offense.
We're
but-
right
Hey,
here.
no offense, but I have dyed my hair plenty of times in the last couple of years, and I will always be blonde at heart. So that explains a lot.
A total blonde moment.
Yeah.
I
A
also
total blonde
swallowed a
moment.
penny when I was younger, so that explains a lot
Okay.
too.
It happens. It happens. So how have you been?
I've been really good. I'm just happy to be back here, do some readings, and be back with a fun group. and-
Okay. Who are you gonna? Shall we just get right to it?
Yeah. I had to start with Gina because.
Do it.
Yeah.
What about Gina's mom? Are you gonna get in this, Mama? Gina.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see who comes through.
Let's
Everyone-
see.
everyone-
Let's see. Okay, go.
So, of course, it always happens when I'm sitting in the audience and Spirit kind of just starts talking to me, harassing me to start talking to the person next to me. And I'm like, Gina, like, I know we're wanting someone to come through. So I had to start taking notes down because otherwise it'll just be too much.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, otherwise
I get it.
it'll be too many people because I got an uncle coming through, I got a mom coming through, I got a brother who's like a friend coming through, I've got an aunt coming through.
But how do you know who they're for? Do you know that it's for this person or for this person or for this person?
Well, this is my first like live audience reading, so it's good practice for me because I'm used to doing either like a small table or like, you know, even if it's multiple tables, just focusing on a few people, it's a lot easier than like a huge crowd.
Okay.
Because it can be very ADD, like just being pulled in multiple directions. And
Yeah.
Spirit, when they're passed on, they just get just as stubborn and
Pushy.
excited and pushy as just like when they were alive. So
They're still the same personality coming through.
and some may be more quiet than others, and some will still be the same personalities that they were when they were here. So I was sitting next to Gina, and I kept feeling like on the way here that someone really wanted someone to come through. And I had written down a note to her, and I said, you know, did you really want someone to come through today? And it took her a minute, and then she was like, yes. She wrote down yes. So I felt an uncle coming through, and it was connected to Gina, and that's who she wanted to come through. And I just felt.
Yep.
So what happens is they really show me different items, and I see. So what I saw was, so he sees an uncle, and he also told me that he had weight issues. So it felt that he was a little bit on the heavier side and kind of constantly struggled with the weight, and the weight had an effect on his health. And that's why I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm having breathing issues, but that's what they had while he was living and also towards the end when he passed. And I also, as I had written down before, he smoked. So when they smoke, I just feel some like stuff in my lungs too. And did he have an awful cough at some point?
At the end, yeah.
At the end, okay, because I just hear this loud cough that was just kind of hideous, and like the smoking really took a toll on his life. And he just keeps saying, I'm sorry. So I don't know if you guys had gone through a few certain situations before the end of his passing or during his lifetime. But he's also saying he's sorry that his passing kind of was just, he's just kind of making me feel like it was just tragic because my head's starting to feel a little bit lightheaded. It was just like he was there, and all of a sudden it was just like, boom. I don't know if he fell, but I just felt like I was standing and just got dizzy all of a sudden and just fell. So I don't know if that's how he passed or if there's someone else who felt like that.
No, you're right.
Okay, so that he did he fall?
He died a horrible death in the hospital.
Okay.
And so alone. And what happened to him shouldn't have happened to him.
Okay. And I apologize because I remember writing down, And I think this is what I still have those moments too, because I've only been doing readings for less than 2 years, where when spirit comes through really strong and they kind of tell me like he made me feel like he shouldn't have passed. And that's what I've written down. He just felt like his life just kind of got cut too short. But I just keep feeling the sensation of just being woozy or dizzy, and just like being just very like wobbly and just. Did he fall a couple of times or?
Well, he fell. He got attacked
Okay.
and was taken to the hospital.
Okay.
And he shouldn't have died.
Okay.
And the way he was attacked, it shouldn't have happened to him. And if it was a woman that went in and got attacked, the police would have been there and there would have been investigation. But because he was a man, they didn't do anything.
No, and he's saying they didn't. And I feel once you were kind of describing that, I was starting to see, and I felt like there were multiple people that were kind of involved.
Yes.
With that.
His wallet was stolen.
okay.
His car was stolen.
At least
money was
2
stolen.
to 3 men were involved.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing like these. Sometimes I'll see their faces, but I keep seeing like these tall shadows. So like tall men who are just very intimidating, and I just felt like they kind of caught him because he was. Not only, I don't mean this in a bad way when I say weak, but he was just kind of in a vulnerable state and fragile. So they kind of just took advantage.
Overpowered.
Yeah, they
Are
did.
you okay?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I mean, I know that, and part of me wants to go and open this investigation, but the other part wants me just leave it alone. He's gone. He's and I don't want to put anything on my aunt because his only surviving sister, she's very fragile, and I don't want to put her through anything. So, I have to just let it go.
I feel like if you were to open the case, it would kind of bring some closure, but I feel like it would also take a really long time for it to kind of open, and also like especially with the witnesses and just getting proof and stuff like
Right.
that. So it may have to be one of those things, but I feel like at the same time you could go through with it, but it just might take a really long time. It could at least take up to 2 to 3 years for it to go through. But if you really can get the evidence and the stuff that you need, you could really fight for it. But was he not there for something for you? Like, did you have an event that he didn't make it to? Or was he not there for you as much as he wanted? Because he keeps making me feel like he should have been there a little bit more.
Well, my uncle went to Vietnam and came back never the same.
Okay.
And he tried to be social. He tried to be normal, as you say. He tried really hard, but he couldn't walk that straight line.
Yeah, it's just hard because especially after like
That makes sense, what
Yeah.
you're saying.
yeah, because I think it was too because I had written down that he had struggled a lot with depression. That comes from being in the Vietnam too. So it was like he was there, but at the same time he wasn't there. So that's why it was really hard for him to. Like the amount he tried, some people may have thought he didn't try as much.
Right,
and
right.
he still put that stress on himself, like that. Like he still felt like the weight of the world on his shoulders, like he wasn't doing as much as he could. So he keeps saying, "I'm sorry, I wasn't there for you as much as I wanted to." And he just leaned over and gave you a hug. He kind of just did this. So I don't know if you felt something, but he did that, and so he's still very close to you.
Oh, yeah.
So, but just know if you do try to do the case, it will take time, but I think you can, it'll go well. And like I said, it'll be kind of back and forth, so it's just really up to you. But if you don't go through with it, I think you'll still get that closure regardless. So don't feel like you have to
Right.
go through that. Who connects with roses too?
Me, I
Her.
love roses.
It's
Okay,
her.
but any other significance to the rose?
That I could think of
Is there
anybody.
someone named Rose? Or just the fact that you like roses?
She loves roses.
Red roses are my favorite. Everybody knows that one.
This name also came up. It could be for someone who's also, and he also, sorry, sometimes I'll bring up random things that are happy things, and then sometimes I'll be talking to Gina about her uncle, and then so I'll be pulled in different directions. So I kind of have to study. But I also had mentioned that he had children, 2 to 3 children. And you had mentioned
My
that
uncle
he
had 3 children and 1 passed, so 2 are remaining.
And he's saying the child that had passed, he's with, and he's
my
protecting that
cousin.
child. It just seemed like there's been a lot of tragedies in the family, but anyone who's died in a very tragic way, they're okay and they're at peace with things. So just anyone who's passed very tragically, they just want you to just kind of know that they're okay and they're being taken care of. I'm also getting, sorry, I'm just trying to focus.
Don't be sorry.
My attention keeps bringing over to Martin, right?
Yes.
Do you happen to have a friend who is like a brother or a brother who passed?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one is it?
Brother.
Your brother, okay, because he's like, I don't mean to be rude, but excuse me. He's been
Oh
trying
my
to get
God.
my attention. I'm like starting to sweat over here because it's funny. They always say
Who
you
does
should-
that sound like? I don't mean to be rude.
Right.
Was that like him?
Yes.
Okay.
That sounded like him.
Do you mind switching
No,
so we
no.
can bring Martin?
Okay, come on, Martin.
Wow.
I usually-
Karen's getting down today.
Sorry, I'm like sweating because it's like I usually get cold, but multiple people are coming through. So thank you for being open, by the way.
Sure.
So I usually write down notes before I do the reading. So this is very new to me, like doing like the on-air readings and not taking notes. So if I have to take a minute, he was very loud, very
Yes.
loud personality. He's like, excuse me, can I curse on air?
Of course.
He's like, he had his moments of really being an asshole,
Yes.
but
Wow.
he's also like, I'm the funny guy too, and like just very like, what's with the connection with his head? Because also with his head, I'm like not thinking straight. So was there any incident with his head?
Towards the end, towards his passing, he was hallucinating.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if it was. I didn't want to just instantly go to drugs, but I was feeling like there was drugs involved, and it feels kind of almost like an overdosage of too much drugs. I don't know if that's exactly how he passed because some spirits kind of like to say exactly how they passed, but he's kind of one of the people who kind of likes to keep things to himself. And he was also having some girl troubles at the time,
No.
or there was some
Any kind of relationship problems at the time?
It may have not been at the time, but a few months before, he was going through relationship issues.
Yeah,
with a specific
he
girl.
and his significant
At least he's
other.
making me feel 2 to 3 months beforehand.
You know, he and his significant other had broken up.
Okay, it seems that they had a lot of issues. Some he didn't tell you about because he had a hard time kind of coping with this stuff, and I feel like he kind of just leaned on more to taking the drugs, and that was his way of kind of coping with stuff with that. And there's this other stuff with the family. He's making me feel like older relatives, so parents probably. Did he have issues with your parents?
With my father, yes.
Okay. It just seemed like they kind of butt heads, and he's kind of showing me this really bad argument before he had passed.
One of many.
Okay. But he's kind of making me feel that there is no closure, and I feel like Dad kind of keeps blaming himself and wishes that he had kind of gotten like not so heated before he passes, because I feel like Dad keeps kind of going back to that, and he doesn't want your dad to do that. Like, it just seems like it just keeps like replaying and replaying in your dad's head.
He may be doing that because my father's also passed.
Okay.
So he's probably doing that in the wherever they're at.
Okay.
He's probably arguing with my dad now.
Okay. Because the reason I said Dad was, it feels like there is another person who's alive now who was also kind of called Dad. So was there someone else who stepped in also
No.
as Dad, or who kind of felt like a father figure role to you guys?
Would have been me.
You. Okay. Because like it's weird. Sometimes they can speak in clear sentences, and then sometimes I think because of how he was towards the end, it seemed like he had really hard times like speaking.
My brother and I had a really bad falling out right before he passed. So we did make up right before, a couple months before he left, but we had a really, really bad falling out. And
Okay.
I had, he had been with me for a while. We lived together, and I helped take care of him. So
He says thank you, by the way,
Oh, yeah.
because he didn't.
He says thank you.
He says thank you. So it's funny because what they learn on the other side is they do see all this stuff that they've done, and they see like the things they could have changed. And so some people are shocked when they realize, oh, Uncle Sam was always like the biggest a-hole on the planet. How could you tell me he says sorry? Like, I'll never forgive him. But they really do change.
Sure,
They're not going
yeah.
to change.
They
into
can look back and see
yeah.
everything that I believe that when you pass, you look back on your life and you see what you did right, you see what you did wrong, right?
Yeah,
so of course
exactly.
they have, if they could come through, I'm sure that there would be, they want to communicate that they're sorry about this or they're happy about this. Why not?
Right.
Sure, absolutely.
And also, too, he keeps talking. Were you planning on getting a tattoo, or do you have a tattoo for him?
we just talked about that today. I'll be getting one probably in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, right on.
He says, I feel like there are like two ideas. one he didn't like so much, and he's the type that will tell you that he doesn't like it. So the
Yes, he
one
is.
that
Yeah.
you feel he would not like, don't get it done. You know which one I'm talking about.
I think so.
But because he's like, I like it, but it's kind of cheesy. He's a really badass. He's just like he was tall, right?
Yes, he's tall as I am.
Okay. Because I just see him as like this giant, just kind of like leaning over. I'm assuming he had darker hair,
Yeah.
brown
black.
hair.
It's almost black.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes I see like really dark brown, and sometimes dark brown can turn as black.
Right, right.
And I do see his darker eyes too, so I'm not sure if it's like a hazel or like I do feel like it's a brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was his face, sorry, he's trying to show me some of his, so he's like tall, kind of average weight, because I don't see him being too large, but I'm also seeing his face. Sorry if I just, but he says, going back to the tattoo, he says he likes the one, but he also thinks it's very cheesy, so don't get that. Don't get the cheesy one.
That sounds like something he's very
Well,
opinionated.
you can let him
person.
know that I'm still gonna get it.
Brothers will be brothers.
Exactly. He's like, that's just another argument in the future.
Right?
But
love it.
he says he
Wow.
loves you, and he does
love him too.
apologize for a lot of, again, excuse my French, but how they were in person is how they're gonna come through me. He says, I apologize for all the bullshit, and thank you. He you know, you let him stay with you, but I feel like the times he didn't have a lot of money, you still took care of him even more. He
Yes.
was still a
Yes.
jerk
Yes.
to you, and he didn't
Yes.
thank you enough. So he says, thank you for taking care of me. And I'm seeing a knee accident. Did he have a knee accident that hurt his knee?
He
Or had knee
had
issues?
a bad knee. Yeah, he did have
Okay.
a bad knee.
Because he keeps showing me that. He's like, that knee was such a pain in the ass. So,
Wow, Karen.
but he's still kind
You're
of
on
like,
fire today.
Yeah.
he's a very talkative person.
Yeah.
Did he lose a friend who was a female too?
Yes,
Yes.
he did.
Because she's stepping forward. She is on the shorter side, so he's with her.
Yeah.
So this name came through before, so I don't know if this is his name or someone else who's alive, but the name B or Brian keeps coming up.
The female started with a B.
B, okay. What was her name?
Her name is Bonnie.
Bonnie, okay, I never would have guessed that. Okay, so that's what the B was, because sometimes it's hard. They'll, like I said, some spirits can. I'm also getting a Matt. So do you know Matt?
He's alive.
That's fine. Were you guys close together?
Not really.
Okay, I don't know where the Matt's coming through. Sometimes they just randomly say blurt stuff. But he seems like the type. Sorry to go back to the drugs, but he seems like the type where even though he should have not taken as much, he's like, oh, I'm still enjoying it over here. Like,
Yeah.
he's such a rebel.
Absolutely. That was him.
He's also making me feel like if you have any questions you want to ask me, or if you have anything in regards to, like,
Do you want to tell him anything?
You know, the thing with my brother and I is we never held back with each other, so we always shared everything on our minds. So we were good when he left.
Okay.
We were good. I don't have any issues with it.
I feel that too. I feel like that piece. But if you ever have questions, you can contact me. But just know he's still like watching over you, and that's why I kept kind of looking at you guys when I was walking by. I
Yeah,
was
her
like,
attention was over there. She's like, something's
it's
pulling
such
you from.
ADD, man. It's just like that's why it's good that it's kept to a smaller
That's
group.
true.
Because
Otherwise, how could you differentiate who's for who?
exactly? There's so many.
Yeah, so many people trying to come in and trying
Yeah.
to talk and pulling at your attention.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
It's exactly perfect, and I'll get there to the point where I will be able to do the bigger audiences. But I think for now, especially when there's so much information coming through, he's also talking about a mom. So is your mom still around?
Yes. She
Okay.
is.
He says, "Tell mom I love her," but I'm also feeling that there. Did you have a friend who lost a mom?
Well, a friend of a friend, but
Okay, so sometimes that happens. So if someone comes to a medium, then not everyone who's connected to you, even if it's through a friend, they're
Wants to
just-
come through.
they want to come.
You want to say something?
They want to come through, even if it's like your great grandfather from like.
And then sometimes you can't think of who you can't think of who it is.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the top of
Yeah.
your head.
Especially if they're quiet, it's like, hey man, if you want to say something, speak up, because otherwise, and some people want their own stage. So like,
Their own space
Their
and their
own
own
space,
stage.
like-
This is my time.
right?
Yeah.
Book me another time. I'll come back.
I can see your brother being like that. Get back, everybody. This is my time.
But that's why he was kind of pushing everyone else back, so I apologize about that, Gina. But some spirits are really like, when they,
he
like
needed
I
to get
said,
his word in.
yeah.
Right.
So he says again, I apologize for being that way, but he's like, he was one of those people he wasn't going to change.
Right.
No.
So, but
that's
he
so
just
true.
really wants you to know, thank you for taking care of me and doing what you did for me, and I apologize for not saying thank you enough. And he loves you very much.
And I love him too.
Wow. Oh my God. You are on fire
Thank you.
tonight, dude. Like, do your skills get more and more sharpened as you work? Because this is her second appearance here, and I don't know if I was really busy or if I don't remember being astonished like I am today.
Yeah.
Last time.
Well, I think what happened last time was, like, sometimes I'll get information in. Like, I knew Gina wanted to talk to someone on the way here. But at the same time, like, I'll get notes in. And that's what happened with you, was, like, when I connect in the car and I'm listening to music, that's really when I, like, connect and have strong experiences. I mean, I'm still paying attention to the road, obviously, not going to crash and kill someone.
Okay, that would be
so
good.
That's what happened last time. So I think it's good that I came back so you can really actually see it in action. But to answer your question, yeah, as time goes on, it really gets really strong.
Yeah,
So-
you were, completely on fire tonight. You gave me chills. And
Thank
now, I don't know if her information is out there, but put her information out there because she will come to Fresno. Tonight was only $10. That's probably not her regular price.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. That was just a special price if you wanted to come here to get a reading by the very, very, very talented.
And don't be scared. I mean, like, no one's
Psychic
gonna tell you when
medium.
you're gonna die. That's just not my place. It's just all good messages and all good fun.
Fantastic. You did so good. And
Thank
I am
you.
so glad you wanted to come back.
Always. I love you guys. It's always, like I said, great energy and so much
It is
fun.
great energy.
Anytime.
Big round of applause for the psychic medium, Karen. She came all the way from Fremont. If you guys didn't come in and pay $10 to get this, you missed out because her prices are how much? For like, how what do you do? Like an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes?
I mean, I charge, to be honest, it's transparent. I charge $140 for an hour and a half, and then I don't
That's a
charge.
long
I
time.
don't charge for going over. Well, sometimes it depends on.
Do some people just want 10 minutes?
Never been 10 minutes, but I've heard the half hour. I'm like, that doesn't.
Do the
I mean,
half hour.
I can do the half hour, but honestly, depending on what you want, like, spirit takes time sometimes, depending on who it is, how many people.
So you don't want to cut
I
it
don't
short.
want. I don't want to rush it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's why I don't charge for going over when most people charge kind of by the hour, because I feel like it's all about like the experience and really giving them a true experience. And I don't feel like you've been to a psychic or medium
Never.
before either.
Never.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm
because
glad,
of
I'm glad I
Fresno
broke your
Vibes.
virginity.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
Your first experience, your first psychic experience with Fresno Vibes. And
Yeah.
Karen, the psychic from Fremont. This was an amazing show. I am so excited. Oh, by the way, before we sign off,
yeah.
I want to give you a gift.
Oh.
Because you know I make my own soaps, lotions, and
so
condoms.
sweet of you.
So this is just a little sample of lotion and a little sample of soap.
Aw.
And a sticker.
That's so
So that's for
sweet.
you. That's
Aw,
for you.
thank
And I hope
you.
that you think of me when it's time to buy gifts because I have
So
awesome
sweet.
handcrafted gifts made by my hands in my
talented.
kitchen.
Yeah.
We
Thank
all have our
you.
talents, right?
Right?
Okay, so let's play. Shall we play? Do we have enough time for one video or do we need to cut it off?
No, we have time.
Okay, let's do one video and then we're gonna end my show. Let's do Ashes. I played this last week, but I like it because it is kind of Halloweenish. This is by Von Gage. Woo!
I am a shark. Look like I'm flying with spark. Yeah, I am a shark. Yeah. Heart. Yeah. Dark. Dark. She ate that shit up from the start. Yeah, I am a shark. Look like I'm flying with spark. I am a shark.
What is your name? been with us since the beginning.
Cheers, bro. To new beginnings.
In the morning that left me blind, I could see the stars align. She was deep with an open mind. Open that door to find. In a world where love ain't blind, I seen anger in many tribes. Just sparks in a mother's eye. Yeah, dust in the endless sky. In the morning that left me blind, I could see the stars align. She was deep with an open mind. Open that door to find. In a world where love ain't blind, I see anger remaining tribes. Just sparks in a mother's eye. Yeah, dust in the endless sky.
Started with division, the vision killed Mars. Everlasting or transcending consciousness to reach as far. Everything the side of line and see like incandescent stars. How so can the love be ours if we possess no heart? Hollowed out the moon, a modern made Death Star, but it don't destroy life. In fact, it created ours. Connect them into heaven through a lethal mental injection. Perception is emulation, created a living obsession. Thinking faster than we're made to blink. So creative, we the vessel holding consciousness to think. So we can perceive the things creating what you only know and make believe. Life is what you make of it. Truth is what we choose to see. Truthfully, the foolish we fulfill with eternity. A lesson we never seem to learn until we yearn to be in a life that's sure and free. Turn within the earth, you see. Dust be where we turn to read the readers on the truest glee. Yeah.
In the morning that left me blind, I could see the stars align. She was deep with an open mind. Open that door to find. In a world where love ain't blind, I see anger remaining tribes. Just sparks in a mother's eye. Yeah, dust in the endless sky.
Tired of the way that we treating life is sick. Took a walk beside the ditch, a new perspective hit. And everybody thinks that life's a bitch, but I try to visualize her as if she were a little kid, a child. She smiles, looking out upon the horizon and the miles of the ocean of a dawn of a new generation of humanity that's faking like we're gonna give it back, but we keep on taking. Try to assess the situation as a whole. She gets up as life which grows out of control. She cannot control that which is in her nature, so she took a vacation and moved to pray the rape of the natural world. Statutory, all grown up revenge, a newfound glory on a purge for our material possessions. She wreaking havoc till we heed the lesson.
There was a dot in space, then an explosion. It went from nothing to a whole lot of commotion. An ocean of life in expansion on the rising path. Through extinction, evolution brought the aftermath. Mankind, bacteria that grew a mind, took the lush planet, reduced it to a diamond mine. Digging to find the answer in the lesson, not realizing that not asking is the answer to the question. Question. Left me blind. I could see the stars align. She was deep with an open mind. Open that door to find. In a world where love ain't blind, I seen anger in many tribes. Just sparks in a mother's eye. Yeah, dust in the endless sky. In the morning that left me blind, I could see the stars align. She was deep with an open mind. Open that door to find. In a world where love ain't blind, I see anger remaining tribes. Just sparks in a mother's eye. Yeah, dust in the endless sky. Dust in the endless sky. Dust in the endless sky. Dust in the endless sky.
Yeah, awesome.
That was the most amazing pre-Halloween episode ever. Thanks to my guest, Karen the
thank you.
Psychic. You got to contact her if you want something real, if you want to know anything about Well, okay, so today it was people that had passed on. But
Right.
do you ever not get people that had passed on? Do you ever just get information like what my future's going to be like, love
of
life,
course,
career,
yeah.
things like that?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
have. So I'm clairvoyant. I also have remote viewing, so I see things of someone's life who's alive from the past and the future, and can predict
Wow.
careers, stuff like that. I just can't do it towards myself because I get really emotional. So
Oh,
It's amazing. This is
yeah.
an amazing talent. So
Thank you.
call her if you need anything, you have any questions. But next week I have local professional boxing champ Jesus Sanchez Ibarra
go Jesus!
and Dead Instant Poet. Dead Insta Poet. So I'm going to have a poet that's going to read us poetry. And we are going to be promoting our local boxing champ. He's going to be fighting in,
Bakersfield.
in Bakersfield. So we're
Yes.
super excited about that. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming on my show. Thank you guys all for listening and tuning in. And I'll see you next week. Woo!